Alright, what's up everybody? My name is James. Welcome to my channel. I'm going to do a relatively quick race recap for you guys. For those of you who follow me, I know in the last video I mentioned that I was going to show you the 4 tiny races that I did, along with the 2 races that I did following that. But this one's going to be out of order. This one I just did yesterday on January 6th. And the reason I'm posting this one first is because this one's easier to edit, and also, since this particular race happens all week, I wanted it to be a little bit more relevant for you guys who are going to be doing it later in the week. So hopefully this will be a nice preview for any of you guys who are going to be doing this Flat is Fast race later this week. Alright, let's hop in and then we'll blaze through this. Alright, 1 minute to go. Stage 2 Flat is Fast, Beach Island Loop. 450 to 570 ZRS. I actually just did the race prior to this one, and sadly I forgot to record that one. I don't know why I'm hopping into this, because I was very close to setting a 30-minute power PR in the other race just to hang in there, and then had nothing left in the finish. Yeah, so the race I did before this, the ZRS range was 510 to 650, so I was racing up a category. Yeah, and like I mentioned, it was really tough. I had to average 3.8 watts per kilo just to hang in there, and oh, and I forgot to mention, my ZRS at this point, if I'm not mistaken, was 491. Needless to say, I could blow up in this one, 10 seconds. Let's just hope I don't blow up. Let's hope I don't have to set a power PR for the 30 minutes to hang in this one. This one's starting out really fast, actually. Goodness gracious. Yep. For any of you who are new to Zwift racing, make sure you buckle up for the beginning of the race because it always starts out pretty spicy. This one's starting way harder than the other one. Can you hear how annoyed I am? I am genuinely annoyed, actually. I once heard a quote that said, "All frustration is born out of unmet expectation." So I guess the moral of that is, if you expect every Zwift race to be impossible, and that you're going to be on the limit the entire time, yeah, you might just be the happiest racer on Zwift. But this time around, it was definitely my fault for hoping that it would start easy. This sucks. Absolutely sucks. Oh man, what a sour guy. Let's dive into the racing. Okay, we are about halfway through the first lap of Beach Island Loop. Now, in stage 1, which was last week, Tempest Fugit was the course for that week, and it was extremely flat. Beach Island Loop, it's not hilly, but it does have a few lumps here and there, and this is one of them. And in both the races that I did, this particular section, everyone just wanted to smash. And from what I've seen and heard from other people too, you can be pretty certain that the pack is just going to go ham on this section. So here I am struggling a little bit to get my heart rate up. Honestly, for the effort I'm putting in, I probably should be somewhere in the low to mid 190s. I know, that's pretty high. I'm averaging 268 watts for about 8 minutes, which is basically my FTP. So if you're wondering why I'm struggling a little bit, that's why. But I still have my aero helmet. I'm going to pick up another power up at the banner that's coming up soon, and then I'm hoping to recover on the downhill and flat section. I'm not too worried about this little gap that's here because I'm pretty sure that everything will come back together. We go over one last kicker, so I decide to activate my driving boost on the slight downhill when we're at a little faster speeds, and you'll see that I'm able to bring my average watts down from 270 to just under 250 or so. But even though I'm able to do that, I do remember feeling like I was struggling and suffering, and there still was a lot of gagging, spitting, clearing my throat, coughing, blowing my nose, basically everything that you can think of. And just as an update on the side, recently the Zwift Play controllers were, I think, half off, so they're about $50. I ended up buying a set, and it arrived today, so I'm pretty excited to use that. I really don't know how much the steering is going to benefit me, but I'm sure it'll help in certain situations. Unfortunately, I have an older version of the Wahoo kicker, so as far as I know, the virtual shifting won't work. I am still doing all my Zone 2 rides on Fen Top or Road to Sky and trying to get the Tron bike unlocked. I think I'm a little bit over halfway on that now, which leaves me about 25,000 meters of climbing left. And some of you who follow me on Zwift might know this, but as of yesterday, I believe, or maybe the day before, my ZRS is officially above 500. Woohoo! But it was a little anticlimactic because there was a good amount of delay, maybe a few days, where my ZRS score wasn't adjusted properly. And I had noticed it when I was doing my races, and especially on the days where I did back-to-back races. The second race score adjustment didn't seem correct. I actually wrote an email to Zwift support to let them know what I think was happening. Yeah, but somewhere along the line, maybe automatically, my ZRS updated properly. And after the adjustment to, I believe, 3 different races, my score went from 494 and shot up to, I think, 523. So it's good to know that even though the ZRS is a little bit wonky and delayed, that it eventually will give you the proper adjustment and score. But anyway, yeah, it's been fun. I think I've been racing for maybe 4 or 5 weeks or so on Zwift now. I think I climbed my way from 320 or something like that up to where I am now. And definitely the past week of racing has been really challenging, as you can also tell by this race. And achieving a good result is actually much harder now. Which again, I'm fine with, because I'm being pushed to go deep in the races and still getting the benefit of that. But either way, let's check out the finish of this one. Okay, with 1.5 kilometers to go, we come to the first little rise out of 2 before the final sprint. So this finish is definitely not an easy one, because you're going to be going for maybe a 2-minute full-on effort after pedaling hard for about 34 minutes or so. And I was definitely pretty cooked by this point. So as we all know, I was just trying to stay with the front guys, trying to stay in the draft until I could sprint at a good time.
Yeah, too late. Yeah. Ah, freaking.
Yeah, so you see, I was so cooked by the end that what happened was I was trying to be as patient as possible, and I ended up being too patient because I didn't think I would be able to sprint for 300 meters or more. So I definitely waited a little bit too long. The draft kind of got away from me a little bit, and then, yep. Placing wise, somewhat mediocre 19th. Alright, the next race that I do, I will be using my Zwift Play controllers for steering. Oh, and I just found out this week that the first training race series is going to be happening on February 8th, which is only a month away. So leading up to the road season, I'm going to race on Zwift maybe once a week. But as some of you may know, I do record my outdoor races as well, and I post them up. And I can do commentary on those as well. So if you are a racer in the DMV area, for those of you who don't know, DMV stands for DC, Maryland, Virginia. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys out there and racing with you guys outdoors. And I'll leave it at that. That's a wrap for this one. I lied. Like and subscribe if you like this kind of content. Alright, later. Beep boop.